The speed at which things went wrong in this situation will amaze you. After two brothers got involved in a viral fight, you might be surprised to learn that they ended up handcuffed. No one could have predicted how crazy things would get with Marsau and Maurice Scott. These two weren't just brothers, they were reality TV stars, business partners, and for a time, they were considered one of the most formidable duos on Love and Marriage, Huntsville. But now, their relationship seems to be in ruins. Marsau and Maurice Scott didn't just appear out of nowhere. They were already known as the stars of a popular reality show that focused on Black relationships, real estate, and excellence. They quickly gained popularity when the show began, and it wasn't hard to see why. Both men had big dreams, and together they created businesses like Black Cigar Lounge, among others. They were always showcasing their ambition and were a constant presence in the public eye, offering fans a glimpse into their family lives. Their marriages looked strong, their bond as brothers seemed unshakable, and their businesses were thriving. But things weren't always as perfect as they seemed. If you looked closely, you would notice that there was a lot more going on behind the scenes. The brothers had different approaches to life and business. Maurice had a more relaxed attitude and liked to think things through carefully before making decisions, while Marsau was more headstrong and eager to take charge. This difference in their personalities was part of what made them so interesting to watch, but it also created tension. Little comments, brief glances, and occasional harsh words seemed to hint at trouble brewing between them. Fans mostly ignored these moments, chalking them up to normal sibling behavior, but it was clear that something was starting to cause friction between the two. As time went on, things began to deteriorate. The cracks in their relationship started to show. One of the first signs was during interviews when the brothers would make subtle jabs at each other. It wasn't loud or overtly hostile, but there was a noticeable tension in their conversations. Marsau sometimes seemed irritated, especially in scenes where things didn't go his way, while Maurice appeared to distance himself, staying quiet and uninvolved in certain business discussions. As these moments accumulated, rumors began to swirl. Some insiders claimed that the brothers had very different visions for their business, and that their relationship was beginning to suffer as a result. Marsau wanted to make big moves and attract attention, while Maurice was more cautious and wanted to take a slower, more measured approach. The tension wasn't just about business, though. It also affected their personal lives, especially their marriages. Their family dynamics began to change. Family dinners became less frequent, and fans noticed that Kimmy and Letitia, their wives, were spending less time together. What used to be fun group outings became solo appearances. The biggest sign that things were seriously off, however, came when Marsau and Maurice stopped posting about each other on social media. They had always supported each other online, celebrating birthdays, promoting their businesses, and encouraging one another in public. But slowly, these posts stopped. There were no more birthday shoutouts or business promotions. Fans began to notice that there was no communication between them online at all. When the brothers went silent on social media, the tension reached a boiling point. The world was watching closely, waiting for some kind of explanation. What happened next was the dramatic turning point in their story. A charity event, one of those glamorous evenings where everyone is dressed to impress, and the last thing you expect is drama, became the setting for a shocking altercation. What was supposed to be a relaxed evening quickly spiraled into chaos. The fight began as a simple disagreement. It seemed to be about business, with Marsau and Maurice having a heated discussion off to the side. But it didn't take long for things to escalate. The argument quickly turned into shouting, and before anyone could react, a video of the confrontation began to surface. Phones were pulled out, and a video captured the moment Maurice tried to calm Marsau down. Marsau, however, pointed his finger in Maurice's face in one of the most widely shared videos of the night. It was just the beginning. What started as verbal tension quickly became physical. There was pushing, drinks were thrown, and a table was knocked over. People shouted for them to stop, but it was already too late. As soon as the video of the altercation went viral, social media exploded. Clips of the fight spread across YouTube, Instagram, and TikTok, and the entire internet was talking about the Scott brothers. Fans, who had followed their journey on Love and Marriage Huntsville, were in disbelief. Some people replayed the video over and over, trying to determine who had started the physical confrontation. There were different opinions, but one thing was clear: this was a complete disaster. Just when you thought things couldn't get any worse, the police got involved. Less than a day after the fight went viral, it was reported that both Marsau and Maurice had been arrested. Authorities confirmed that the situation had escalated and that the brothers were facing charges of disorderly conduct and assault. The absurdity of it all was that their mugshots were released to the public, and as soon as those images hit the internet, the fans went wild. These two men, who had built their brand around family values and success, were now front and center in a scandal that no one saw coming. The online response was overwhelming. Some fans couldn't believe what had happened, and others were deeply critical, calling it embarrassing and claiming that it was the end of the Scott family legacy. While most of the cast of Love and Marriage Huntsville stayed silent, a few people posted cryptic messages. Some shared Bible verses about peace and self-control, while others posted thoughts on the importance of pride and humility. It was clear that those closest to the brothers were shaken by what had occurred, but no one was ready to publicly comment on the situation. Behind the scenes, things were tense. Both Kimmy and Letitia, the wives of the two men, had dealt with public drama before, but this situation was different. Fans noticed that both women had either removed recent posts or disabled comments on their social media pages. Neither had made an official statement, and since the arrest, both brothers have remained completely silent. Their social media accounts went dark, and there were no explanations, no apologies, and no damage control. This silence spoke volumes, especially since Marsau and Maurice had always been very open with their fans in the past. So, what really caused the fight? Let's take a closer look at the issues that had been brewing for a long time. The truth is that this altercation didn't happen overnight. There were many factors that contributed to the tension between the brothers. One major issue was their business relationship. Sources close to the brothers revealed that Maurice had made several important decisions about their joint ventures without consulting Marsau. As someone who is known for his assertiveness, Marsau felt blindsided and left out of crucial conversations, especially when it came to their real estate projects. He didn't appreciate being kept in the dark, and this created a huge rift between them. But the business issues weren't the only problems. The brothers also had personal conflicts that added fuel to the fire. On the show, they had always been open about their lives, sharing personal moments with their fans. But what began as a way to connect with their audience turned into an emotional burden. Maurice's more laid-back approach to handling personal matters in the public eye frustrated Marsau. The fact that their family and professional struggles were becoming so public only made things worse. As tensions mounted, so did the judgment and resentment between them. Marsau, in particular, started feeling overshadowed by Maurice's success. Fans seemed to like Maurice's calm demeanor, whereas Marsau's fiery personality was sometimes seen as a bit too much. This created a perception that Maurice was the more likable brother, and Marsau started to feel that he wasn't getting the respect he deserved. He took pride in being the more assertive brother, but it seemed like his efforts were going unnoticed. Maurice, on the other hand, tried to maintain a professional appearance. He believed that Marsau was being overly emotional and stubborn about certain issues. Their disagreements about how to run their businesses led to even more personal conflicts. These professional and personal tensions combined to create a situation that was just waiting to explode. Despite the shocking nature of the altercation, it's clear that the cracks in their relationship had been visible for years. Neither brother wanted to face the issues head-on, and so they continued to put on a united front while the tension simmered beneath the surface. Eventually, the fight became inevitable. Now, the future of their business and their place on Love and Marriage, Huntsville, is uncertain. The legal consequences of the assault and disorderly conduct charges could have a lasting impact on their reputation and future projects. Fans are already speculating about whether they will remain on the show and whether the fallout from this incident will be too much to overcome. As for Marsau and Maurice, their silence speaks volumes. Neither has commented on the situation, and their absence from social media has only intensified the mystery. Fans are left wondering if the brothers will ever reconcile and if they can rebuild their relationship. It may take a lot of effort, family mediation, counseling, or simply some time away from the spotlight, but it's possible that they can repair what's been broken. However, many fans are doubtful, believing that the damage is too great to fix. What do you think? Can the Scott brothers recover from this, or is their relationship beyond repair? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. And if you found this update interesting, don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you don't miss any future updates. Thanks for watching.